friends, welcome to another episode of Mountain Life Yoga with Christy. Today we are going to be using a strap if you have it. So if you don't worry, I'll show you an alternative. But the strap could be a belt or a rope or a yoga strap, just something that's kind of long that you can just make an easy loop with, and it doesn't have to be a locked loop. It can just be two ends that you hold together in one hand. Eventually we'll just be strapping it around our foot. So if you don't have that, don't worry, I will make the alternative easy for you. But if you do have it, go ahead and grab one now. And today we're gonna start on our backs. So your strap can just be off to the side. And make your way onto your back, laying in a nice, easy Shavasana position. And we're gonna take a moment here to just settle in. So try closing your eyes. Wiggle your jaw and just let your jaw relax afterwards. And we're gonna start at the top of our head and just encourage a wave of calm and peace all the way down through our bodies. So I like to do this picturing a color, like there's a nice soft color that's starting at the top of my head and working its way down nice and slowly. Start breathing really big, deep into your belly. And imagine that wave of calm and peace just slowly passing down through your eyes, behind your nose and your mouth. And it's moving very, very slowly down past your throat into your heart space. And as it continues down across your shoulders, seeping down through your arms, it leaves calm and peace behind it. So everything that it has touched is more calm than it was before. And let that color of calm just slowly start to roll down through your torso. And as you take big breaths, feel it pass through your lungs, down through your intestines and your vital organs, down through your hips. Feel yourself relaxing more as it goes down through your thighs and knees, calves, ankles, slowly passing through your feet and out through the other side. And then just rest here for a few more breaths and feel that calm. Notice if that makes it easier to take bigger, full body breaths. Imagine that your lungs are not the only place that the air can go, and fill up your whole body with air. Pranayama is life force or air or breath. And just inhaling big through your nose. Let the next two breaths go out through an open mouth with a slight noise, restriction in the back of your throat that makes it sound like this. See if you can slow your breath down one more little bit. From here, just slowly, you can keep your eyes closed, but sweep your arms long past your ears. Point your fingers and toes in a full body stretch, tensing up your muscles to let them go again. And we're going to keep our arms above our ears. Bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. You can raise your hips, stretch them away from you and set them back down. Separate your feet a little wider and just slowly let your legs windshield wiper from side to side. And as you move through this gentle movement, try not to let it be just habit, just letting your legs fling from side to side, but really get intentional. How does it feel as your legs separate a little wider in the hips? And as your legs come down to one side, try to keep your shoulders on the ground and feel not only the twist in your spine, but the opening across your hips. Where else do you feel it? Can you slow your movement down? Maybe flex your toes back towards your shins just for a little more activation. And as your arms are just laying there, start to wiggle your wrists around in circles, Make movements with your fingers. Just start to feel your whole body. Bring your knees slowly back towards the middle. Raise them up towards your body and hug them in. So you can rock your hips a little from side to side here. Try to get your knees close together, feet close together and not crossed at the ankle. And just make whatever movements feel good here, starting to open up the length of your spine. If you notice, this is actually a forward fold. So it's a very passive forward fold because the weight is on the ground and you're pulling your knees up towards you. But this can be a really good forward fold if you wake up with lower back pain and you want to ease your way into stretching out your back. So let's deepen that forward fold a little by lifting our head up off of the ground and bringing it back down. And we'll start to breathe a little. Take a breath in here. And exhale, bring your head up and touch your nose closer towards your knees. And we'll do that for 5 breaths. You can either have your hands on your shins if your legs don't quite make it to your belly, or you can wrap your arms around and clasp opposite elbows if your hips are feeling more forgiving today. And just finish a couple more rounds of breath, exhaling nose to knees, squeezing into a tight little ball, inhaling head and shoulders back to the ground. Finish the one you're on and do one more. Slow it down, really squeezing your thighs in towards your belly. And when you're done, keep your legs where they are, but release your arms to the side to T, palms down. Extend your legs up towards the ceiling and just take a moment to wiggle out your ankles, point and flex your toes. Check out where your legs are in space. You want to try to have your knees stacked over your hips and your ankles stacked over your knees. You can gently press your belly button down, so like you're flattening the C curve of your spine on the floor. We're going to work a lot on strengthening your core and loosening the spine today because I woke up with lower back pain, so I'm working through it. Keeping your belly pressing down into the ground, just open up your legs wider to the side. You can bring your hands to the inside of your thighs and just gently rest with your legs in a wide V. If this doesn't work for you, you can soften your knees and let your knees bend. And then just move your legs around a little bit. You can bend and straighten your legs or keep them straight. Provide a small amount of resistance with your thighs or with your hands on your thighs. And maybe pull your thighs closer towards you and let them push a little farther away. Just kind of opening up the inner thighs. And then we're going to slowly bring our legs back up towards the sky, but with a little resistance in your hands. So straighten your legs, push out through your heels, and as you slowly bring your feet up towards the ceiling, resist with your hands. Make it a little challenge. And when your heels come back together, release your hands. Stretch your hands up towards the ceiling and reach up. So you're going to be pushing up with your heels and reaching up with your fingers, but pushing down through your belly. So your tailbone and your shoulders might be off of the floor. Stretch up. If your feet are close and you can touch them, go ahead and grab them, or you can grab for your ankles if you need a little more support. Hold on, push up, keep breathing. Reach everything as high up towards the ceiling as you can for one more big breath in. Keep your legs where they are. Exhale, head and shoulders back down to the ground, arms out to T, palms down. Bring your knees back over your hips and then bend your legs so that you look like the letter H from the side, a little letter H. And we're going to slowly take a big breath in and exhale your legs down to the right. Bring your chin to the left. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground. With the inhalation, bring your knees back up, legs together, knees cross over hips. Exhale, slowly down to the left, chin comes to the right. And we're going to inhale back and forth like this for a little while. So you want to go really, really slowly. You want to have your legs glued together and your shoulders sticking to the floor. So that might mean that your legs don't get very close to the floor. That's okay. We're working on stretching out and twisting our spine, strengthening the deep core muscles around the spine. Slowly working out some kinks. Maybe even slowing it down a little bit more. Keep your toes flexed back towards your face. Maybe try closing your eyes and just feeling your body without looking at anything. Release your vision so that you can go more inward. Pressing your palms strongly onto the floor will help you anchor your shoulders. You should start to feel your core turning on by now. Finish the round of breath that you're on and complete one more cycle to each side of your body. When you have completed that, just hug your knees in again towards your body. Gently give yourself a hug, and again, rock a little from side to side. You can place your hands now on your knees, and as you rock from side to side, make circles in space with your knees. So you pull them towards your belly, around, push them away from your belly and around. This is one of my favorite lower back massages. It's just a move that you can do to roll out your lower back and hips on the floor. And then go the other direction. Notice if you're speeding up, and go slower. We want the muscles to really work and give your whole body time to feel the movements that we're passing through. And as you get back to center, wiggle out your ankles, point and flex your toes. And then keeping your knees pretty close together, bring your feet to the floor and inch them pretty close to your hips. So we'll go into bridge in a moment. You want to be able to make sure that your shoulders are close together, your knees are in line with your hips, and your heels are in line with your hips. So you might be able to walk your heels back towards your butt and tickle them with your fingers maybe. If not, just try to keep them hips width distance. Place your hands on the floor, gently on the sides, and as you inhale your next breath, raise your hips up towards the ceiling. We're going to keep them raised for a moment and get our alignment good. So again, make sure that your feet are pointing straight away from you. Pull your hips up high so you sort of feel like your knees, your hips, and your shoulders are all in one line. Inch your shoulder blades closer together beneath you, and then press down with the back of your head so that you can maintain some space between your chin and your chest. Push your hips up a little higher and try to relax your butt muscles. And then sweep your arms up towards the sky and let them come back down behind you. So your backs of your hands are on the floor. Reach long through your fingertips. Keep that action. Pressing down with your knuckles onto the floor. Take a big breath in, and we'll just move gently with our breath, exhaling the hips down to the ground. Stretch out your spine, reach long through your fingers. Inhale, push your feet into the floor, raise your hips towards the ceiling really high, pressing down through the back of your head. Exhale, hips down nice and slow. We'll do this about 5 times. Start to notice the space in between your breaths, so take a little pause. Get your hips as high as you can get them. Complete your inhalation, give it a second, and then slowly lower down with the exhale. When you've completed your exhale, give it a second before you start again. Inhaling up. Keep reaching long through your fingertips. Keep shrugging your shoulders back down so it's like you're reaching forward and pulling back at the same time with your arms. And when you're done with the next cycle and you have exhaled your hips down, bring your arms to cactus arms. So it's just elbows are outside of shoulders, arms are bent. Separate your feet again towards the edges of your mat and just windshield wiper 2 times to each side. Notice if you're starting to feel a little looser, maybe my lower back is starting to feel safer, which is nice. When you're done with that, come back to the center, bring your feet closer together again. And we'll just do a few breaths in figure 4 on each side. So start by crossing your right leg over your left knee. And then figure out where you'd like your leg to be. So if this is intense on your hip, leave it there and just gently wing your knee away from you and towards you. So like you're opening and closing your hip a little. If that is like no big deal, start to bring your left leg up towards your body. And then relax your left leg so it's just hanging there. And as you gently pull your left leg towards you, let your hips or your weight shift gently towards your left hip. You should feel that maybe a little bit more along the outer right hip. As you gently pull your leg towards you, try to relax your head and shoulders. Keep your head on the ground, but tuck your chin just a little and see if that helps relax more. Keep your elbows hugged close in towards your body, and as you breathe, on the exhalations, pull your thigh a little closer. And as you inhale, gently use your right arm to push your right leg away from you. Exhaling, left thigh towards your body. Inhale, push your right leg away. Exhaling, right thigh or left thigh closer. Stay here for 1 or 2 more long, slow breaths. Close your eyes and notice where you feel the sensation, and give that sensation permission to release. Before we go on to the other side, bring your legs back up towards the ceiling, wiggle out your ankles. Notice how different one side of your body feels from the other. And then we'll even it out. Right foot to the floor, left leg crosses over right ankle. And again, feel it out. Maybe this is as far as you go because your hips are feeling super tight today and you need to rest here and work here by bringing your knee closer and farther away from your body. If you want more intense sensation, clasp your hands behind your right thigh. Relax that right leg. Shift your hip or your weight a little towards the right hip. And then gently begin pulling your right thigh towards your body and gently pushing your left thigh away from your body. You can flex your left foot. I like to feel like I'm hugging my pinky toe around the outside of my knee. That just creates a little more engagement, turns on the muscles that will protect your knee, the left knee. Notice if your chin is jutting up towards the sky again, and tuck it gently towards your chest. This is to lengthen your spine, so you can complete that action by pushing your tailbone a little away from you. When I do that, I notice a much stronger sensation in my hip that I can breathe into and encourage release. Notice if your breath is getting caught up in your heart space, and try to draw it all the way down into your belly. Notice if your eyes are open and you're focusing on stuff, like the ceiling. Try to fog up your eyes. Just let your vision soften. Reconnect with that feeling of calm and peace. And slowly begin to untangle your fingers. Let your legs come up towards the ceiling. Wiggle them out a little bit. Bring your feet back down to the floor and then locate your strap. So if you don't have a strap, we're just gonna reach your hand up towards your leg and open up. So it's just gonna look like this. If you have a strap, go ahead and loop one end around your foot and bring it up. Bring your hand, walk your hand up the strap. So wherever you're at, extend your right leg towards the ceiling, left leg long on the ground. We want to keep that left leg engaged by pushing down through the heel, pulling back with the toes. Wherever you're at, if you have your hand, you can place your right hand on your calf, your ankle, or your toe, or wrap your hand around your strap. And we're just gonna slowly make movements through space, opening our leg out wide to the side, maybe toes touch the floor, bringing it back up and across. So we're gonna work with a straight leg. So that might mean that your leg is far away from you and you're using the strap to hold on. That might mean that your knee softens a little bit so that you can hold on behind your thigh if you don't have a strap. Maybe that means you use your strap forward to pull your leg forward and you can clasp onto your toe. Wherever you're at, we're working on lengthening through the back side body. So that means all the way through the calf and the hamstring. That also means that we're lengthening through the connections between our legs and our spine. So this is also a forward fold. This will help loosen and lengthen the back side body in a much more gentle way than standing and folding forward. So just spend another moment or two making big movements with your long straight leg all around, hanging out in the areas where you feel a strong sensation and giving it a moment to relax. Maybe you can open your leg a little wider and keep your left hip encouraged towards the floor. And finish the breath you're on and move like this for 2 more long, slow breaths. And then slowly, if you have a strap, release it, bring your foot to the floor, and then extend your leg long onto the ground. Straighten out your body into like a Shavasana pose again, the corpse pose. And just let your body relax for 2 breaths before we do the other side. Try to relax the muscles around your spine. Let your body feel heavy on the floor. And then slowly, you can bend both legs to start. Bring the strap around your left foot, or just start to extend your left leg up towards the sky and clasp onto your calf or ankle or toe. Extend your right leg long on the ground and keep pushing out through your heel and down into the ground. You can walk your hands up the strap or up your leg, and then begin to work on this side. So if you have your hand on the strap, left hand on strap, right arm out. If both hands are on your leg, that's fine too, or hold onto your leg, right arm out. And then just begin to slowly make the same kind of movements. Bringing your leg far out to the left, pushing out through your heel, trying to keep your legs straight as you just explore the motion and the range of motion that's available on this side. Encourage your right hip firmly down towards the floor, so you might even want to use your right hand to help you with that. Keep reminding yourself to push out through both heels, keep your legs straight, move your leg through space. Maybe you need to release the strap and push your foot farther away from you so that you can keep that leg straight. Notice where you feel sensation as you move. Try not to judge the sensations. If something is tighter on this side than the other side, work through it. We'll be here for a couple more long, slow breaths. Slowly release the strap, put your foot on the ground, bring your other foot to the floor, and then extend both legs long, straight on the ground. Shavasana pose for 2 long, slow breaths. Close your eyes, feel the calm and the peace. And we're gonna roll over onto our side to rise. So you can start with bent knees and just rock over to the right. Use your hands to press yourself up so that you're not using just your core muscles to come to seated. Bring your legs towards the front of your mat. And then bend your right leg up towards your body. We're gonna hug it in nice and tight, have a long straight spine, and then pick that foot up and cross it over to the outside of your other leg. So we have a couple options. I'll spin towards you so you can see. Right foot is on the ground. You can keep your left foot forward and engaged, or you can bend your leg and bring it back behind you. So you just wanna make sure that you're not sitting on your foot. You want both sit bones equally on the floor. And as you begin, just shrug your shoulders up, back, and down. Press down through your right foot and your right hip. And we're gonna begin to twist towards the right, so you're rotating your body towards that raised right leg. A couple options for your arm now. You can begin to wrap your elbow around your thigh and bring your right arm down behind you. And you want, as we breathe here for many breaths, you're gonna keep engaging by pressing down through your right hand and raising up so your spine is long and straight. And on your exhalations, you'll just twist a little deeper. You can use this arm to gently pull in, keeping your spine straight. If this is like no big deal and you want more, bring your left elbow outside of your right knee, and you can press that way. That might not work on your shoulders. It might. Figure out what works best for you and re-engage your foot, pressing your right foot into the ground. As you breathe, inhale your crown of your head towards the sky, exhale, twisting deeper. Maybe bring your gaze back over your right shoulder. Notice if you're starting to curve your spine and really keep it long and straight for safe spine placement. We're gonna slowly unwind, release forward, pause for a moment facing forward, and just let your spine relax. We're gonna switch out the legs. So start by extending left leg forward, extend right leg forward. We'll just take an easy forward fold before we do the other side. So just stretch your hands in the direction of your feet. Keep breathing, keep your tailbone reaching towards the floor, let your head hang forward. Maybe your forehead comes closer to your knees. And just try to feel the full length of your spine. Reach down through your tailbone. Try to make a little space happen between each vertebra as you tuck your chin towards your chest and gaze towards your belly. Start to raise with the back of your head, walk your hands back towards you, and then we'll work on the other side. Bend your left knee, straighten out your spine, we're gonna keep it straight. Pick up your foot and place it on the outside of your leg. Ground down through that foot and through the left hip. Choose what you want to do with your right leg, either forward or bent and back towards your hip. Wiggle your shoulders a little, get settled in. And then bring your left hand down behind you, press it behind, so it feels like that's a chair back, keeping your spine straight. And then start to twist in towards your left leg. Arm and elbow either wraps around the outside or elbow tucks. And then lengthen through the crown of your head as you inhale. And as you twist to the left, exhale. And we'll work this way for a few breaths. Keep reminding yourself that you're pressing down through the big toe mound of your left foot and reaching up through the crown of your head. Maybe you can start to twist deeper, gaze over your left shoulder. And keep encouraging your right rib cage towards your left thigh. And stay for 2 more long, slow breaths, maybe adjusting as you need if you can go a little deeper. Keep reaching up with the crown of your head for the next breath. And then slowly, slowly, slowly unwind, come towards the center. From here, extend your legs forward again. And find another easy forward fold. This time, if you like, you can bend your knees. Start to rest your thigh on your belly on your thighs and tuck your forehead. So this is maybe a little bit more comfortable or easy than having the legs long and folding. Just giving you options so that when you do yoga on your own, you can remember these different things that feel good and you can practice them when you're not taking a class. Take 2 more breaths in the easy forward fold. Really try to start to curve your spine, lengthening through your whole back. Slowly straighten your spine, come up to seated. And then we'll just roll onto our hands and knees and take a few rounds of cats and cows. So hands are below shoulders, knees are under elbows, knees are under hips. Inhale into cow pose, belly goes down, tail and gaze go up. Exhale into cat pose, gazing towards your belly. And just flow through this for a few moments. Squeeze your thighs towards each other to engage them. Without moving your hands, pull your hands back towards your knees to engage your arms. Press into the floor with your tops of your feet and your fingers. 1 more round of cats and cows. And then come to a neutral spine, sink your hips back towards your heels. Reach your arms forward, find child's pose. Your knees can be separated wider to make room for your belly, and your forehead can come towards the floor. That might mean that your hips are higher, that's fine. You can rock gently from side to side. Start to sink your hips really nice, heavy, low, down towards your heels. Let your forehead relax on the ground and then stretch your arms forward. If you'd like a little bit more of a shoulder stretch here, inch your hands together, palms together, elbows strong on the ground, and just bring your thumbs up towards the back of your neck. Breathe deep into your lower back. Squeeze your palms together or reach your fingers forward. And feel that calm and peace crossing through or waving through your body now. Slowly raise your head, hands on the ground. Walk your feet back to plank. And we'll stay in plank for just a couple breaths. Push back through your heels, squeeze your thighs together, push your hands into the ground, poof your shoulders towards the sky. And on your next inhalation, let your hips come up and back to down dog. And we'll go forward and backward a couple times. Inhaling, hips up high. Exhale, raise your heels, push your hips down towards the floor a little bit more to plank. Inhaling up and back, stretch your thighs towards the wall behind you. Exhale, curling forward, hips go down, even with your shoulders. One more time, inhaling up and back to down dog. Exhaling forward into plank. From here, just start to walk your feet forward. Find an easy forward fold with your knees bent and hang in your forward fold. Sway a little from side to side and then slowly roll up to standing. When you get up, shrug your shoulders up, back, and down. Give yourself a neck roll in each direction. And then pause in mountain pose. So your feet are under your hips, your hands are by your hips, palms slightly forward, and come to terms with being upright. From here, wiggle out your wrists, and then sway a little from side to side in gentle twists. And come back towards the center. Inhale your arms up high. And we'll just do an easy back bend as you exhale. Elbows go wide, heart goes high. We're going to do this 3 times. Inhale, gaze forward, fingers up. Exhale, elbows wide, slight back bend, heart high. So it's more of heart to the sky than a back bend. Inhale, gaze forward, fingers up. Exhale, slight back bend, raise your heart. Inhaling back up to the sky, we'll swan dive forward as you exhale, hands go wide. Wiggle your fingers as they go, find the forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale for the partial lift. As you exhale, bring your hands to the floor, step your left foot back, giant high lunge, sink your hips down. Bring your hands up to your knee and sink in. So an option here is to lower your back knee and uncurl your toes. Wherever you're at, push your shoulders back a little more. If your back knee is raised, push back through your heel, straighten your leg. Try to make sure that your front heel is directly below your front knee and squeeze your thighs in towards each other. Sweep your arms forward and up as you inhale, and again we'll do a little back bend as you exhale. Inhale, gaze forward, hands up. We'll do this 3 times here. Keep squeezing your thighs towards each other, keep sinking your hips down and pressing back through your left heel. One more breath like that. Inhaling back up towards the sky. This time exhale your hands down to your heart and twist to the right. So you want to push your left hip forward and in as you sink in. Twist as deep as you can towards the right and then hinge forward. Tuck your elbow outside of your knee and begin to twist more. Sink your hips down lower. Twist your heart towards your thumbs and gaze back over your right shoulder. If your back knee is down on the floor, see if you can sink your hips even lower. If your back knee is raised, push back through your heel and squeeze your thighs towards each other. One more breath here. And then we'll use an inhalation to come back forward. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your foot back to plank. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, lower slowly down to the ground. Uncurl your toes. Cobra pose. Inhale, peel your face and chest up. Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll down. And we'll do that 3 times. Zip up your legs. Inhale, peel your face and chest up. Press down through the toenails. Exhale down. Keep your kneecaps raised up off of the floor. Inhale, hug your elbows back towards your hips as your heart rises. Exhale down. Curl your toes under. Inhale to the top of a push-up. And exhale, down dog. Stay for a big breath in. Exhale, forward into plank. Inhale your hips up and back to down dog. And then walk your feet forward again to a forward fold. Let all the breath go out of your body. Hands to shins, inhale for the partial lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. Step your right foot back, giant high lunge. Bring your hands up to your knee. So again, on this side, option to lower your back knee and uncurl your toes, or keep your knee raised. Sink in, push back through your back heel, hug your right hip forward and in. Inhale your arms forward and up. 3 rounds of cactusing heart to the sky on the exhalations. Scissor your thighs in towards each other for balance. Try not to grip the mat with your front toes. You can even raise them up a little. Inhaling forward, squeeze your thighs. One more time, elbows wide, back bend. Inhaling your hands up, and we'll do the same as we did to the other side. So exhaling your hands to your heart, squeeze your thighs, rotate your torso to the left. Hinge forward, tuck your elbow outside of your knee, sink your hips down and rotate your heart towards the sky, or your thumbs. You can always uncurl your back toes up when you lower your back knee if you like, and sink your hips deeper. Or keep your back knee raised. Stay here for one more full breath cycle. Gaze up over your left shoulder. Inhale your heart back to the center. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, step your foot back to plank. Exhale, hips up and back to down dog. Stay for a big breath in. Exhale, forward into plank. Stay for a big breath in. Exhale, lower down, belly to the floor. Uncurl your toes, zip up your legs. Inhale, Bhujangasana, peel your face and chest up. Exhale, down. Zip up your legs again, re-engage your legs, pinky or toenails on the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Maybe use your hands to press up a little higher this time. Exhale, lower down. Cue change here. We're gonna stretch your arms a little forward. Place your hands on the mat and your elbows are directly under your shoulders. So wiggle out your hips here for a moment and then relax your legs. If this is intense on your lower back, separate your feet a little wider and that will provide some relief. You want your elbows to be under your shoulders so you can bend your arms and clasp your fingers around the outside of your elbows. That's making sure they're in the proper place. Wiggle your butt and then just let your butt relax. Press your palms into the ground and pull forward. So notice if your shoulders are up in your ears, push them down, pull them back. Stretch your heart forward towards the front. Gaze is long past your nose towards like where the wall and the floor meet ahead of you maybe. So you're not looking up and you're not looking totally down. Somewhere like kind of in between. Try to relax your belly. Try to relax your back. Try to relax your thighs. But press your forearms into the ground and pull, tugging back with your elbows. And see if you can relax your spine a little more, stretch your heart up a little higher. Stay for one more big breath in. As you exhale, roll down to the ground, hands come under shoulders, zip up your legs, curl under your toes. Inhale to the top of a push-up. Exhale, down dog. This time, walk your hands back towards your feet, find the forward fold. And we're gonna come up slowly with a curved spine. So bend your knees, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, and then slowly start to push your legs towards straight as you roll up one vertebra at a time, coming to standing. Shrug your shoulders up, back and down. Mountain pose, let your palms shine forward. Shoulders relax down, and then roll your neck in a couple circles, figure eights, twists. Inhale your arms wide, palms touch at the top. Exhale, back bend, elbows to cactus. Inhale, arms up high. Bring your hands to your heart as you exhale. Close your eyes and pause with your hands at your heart for a couple breaths. Turn up the corners of your mouth and keep them there for just a little while. Let your heart rate slow down. Once again, feel that calm and peace washing down, starting at the top of your head, going down through your throat and neck. And as it goes across your collarbone, release your hands down into mountain pose. And feel that calm and peace once again, like it did on the floor, washing down towards the floor this time. Feeling it drip out through your fingertips, down through your torso and all of your organs, relaxing muscles as it goes, and leaving you feeling light as it pushes down. You can feel like you're floating up, like when it reaches the floor finally after it passes down through your legs, you might float up into space. Let that wash down through your feet. Pause here for one more big breath in through the nose and a big breath out through the mouth. And we'll just do one more pose. It'll be a balance pose. Shrug your shoulders again. And we'll have two options. So you can do regular tree pose, which would look like this, or this. Or we can do a half lotus sort of tree pose. So, which would look more like that. So just make a decision now which one you want to work on. And start by feeling really firmly rooted through your feet in the floor. Keep that root going on your left side, and then we'll work into the pose with our right leg. So either bring your heel to your ankle and decide if you want to slide it up to your calf, or bend your knee, hug it up in tight, and then open up your knee to the side as you pull your heel towards your belly button. Once it gets there, you can clasp your foot from the pinky toe edge, so you're holding from the outside, or the pinky toe edge, fingers wrapping around big toe side, and bring your hand to your heart. So wherever you're at, make sure that you're focusing softly on one point that is eye level or higher. So for balance poses, I like to say, you look down, you're going down. You want to stay up, look up. And if you're in more classic tree pose, make sure that your foot is above or below your knee, not on your knee. Wherever you're at, imagine that you are hanging from a string from the ceiling, and your bottom foot just happens to be touching the floor. See if that helps lengthen your spine and find balance. If you're in the half lotus, you can maybe, again, hug your foot around your thigh and try to bring both hands to your heart. But if that doesn't work for you, you can keep hanging on and start and exercise your bicep. We're gonna stay here for a couple more breaths. Ground down through the big toe mound of your standing foot. Shift your weight ever so slightly forward and hug all of your muscles in towards the midline. See if that helps your balance. We're gonna slowly start to release. So either start sliding your foot to the floor or release your foot and hug your knee in towards your body. Wiggle out your ankle. Release down. Pause into Tadasana mountain pose for just a breath. See how different one side of your body feels from the other. Feel long from the ground to your head. Shift your roots and your weight into your right foot, and then either kickstand with your left foot and start to work into tree, or hug your left knee up in towards your body. Find your focal point wherever you are. With your knee bent, open your knee out to the side, bring your heel up towards your belly button, wrap your hand around from the outside and let your knee come down. So knee, I almost fell. Knee can be up higher if it starts to feel pinchy as you bring it down. Eventually you want to try to get your hips squared and your knees in line with each other. Your knee would be pointing straight down and your heel would be in your belly button. We'll see when that happens. Shift your weight slightly forward. Let your shoulders relax back and down, but hug your belly in towards this midsection. All of these muscles around your spine, hug them in. Keep your gaze soft, and maybe try turning up the corners of your mouth here. Stay for a couple more breaths. If you're feeling wobbly like me, remember that you're solid and strong and steady and calm. Feel the wave of calm and peace flowing down from your head, down through the floor. And at the end of your next breath cycle, slowly begin to release out the way you came in. Bring your foot to the floor, separate your feet a little bit wider than hips width distance, and just sway a little from side to side very slowly. Come back towards the center. Inhale your arms up high, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Let your eyes close as they pass. Turn up the corners of your mouth for the next 2 breaths. And if this has to be the end of your yoga practice today, I hope that you have a good afternoon or evening, whatever time of day it is when you're watching this. If you do have about 4 more minutes, I would recommend laying back down on the ground in Shavasana. and just let your body rest. But this is the end of a 45-minute session, so if that's all you had, that is plenty fine. Wherever you're at, remember that you can keep this calm and peace and take it out with you when you start to go back out into the world. It's a little scary out there right now. This can help. And you know, you can always practice that smile asana when you have a bandana over your face. I'm smiling and nobody can even tell. So you don't have to worry about looking silly, but you can turn up the corners of your mouth anytime you want for a little attitude adjustment. Thanks for practicing yoga with me today. Namaste.